it going?
Pretty good. Not too bad. It's a dreary day.
Where are you at?
And it's again. I live in Northampton, so just north of Catty.
Oh, right. Wow. Is that Pennsylvania? I know where Catty is, but Northampton, that sounds like New York. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's not as fancy as it sounds.
Oh, okay.
It's in the Lehigh Valley.
Okay.
My mic is echoing. Would it be better if I did like a plug-in headphone thing?
If you prefer, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is Tasha Lindemann.
Okay, there we go. Much
nice.
better.
Yeah, it actually sounds a lot better.
Oh, okay, cool.
Nice.
Excellent.
That's fucking better than I expected.
Yeah, Northampton. Just like on the north side of Lehigh Valley.
Okay,
it's like
cool.
7 minutes from Catty.
Damn.
And 15 from Posh. So.
Wow.
It's awesome.
Cool. So is Northampton going to be the new Austin? Is everyone going to start moving there?
I mean, I feel like I kind of missed the rush of Bethlehem being the Mecca. And
yeah.
I don't know if it's coming back. It'd be cool if it did, but.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting how many people were up in Bethlehem at one point in time. Like it was.
Well, like Burns was here. Who else lived here? Well, like Joe Rich and
Tosh.
Sandy Carson.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are more that I don't know.
Oh,
but
there's plenty, yeah.
A big old party house and the house, and I don't know all the stories, but I hear one or two every so often. Stauffer will tell a couple good stories.
Oh, right on. So did you grow up riding that area? Like, is that where you're originally
from? I am from South Dakota.
Oh, wow. Holy shit.
Yeah. So I've only been here for 3 years.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
So
we are transplants.
Wow. So you originated in South Dakota.
Yes.
And what brought you?
And I didn't know what a BMX bike was.
Wow. So you just kind of stumbled into this and you're like, wow, look at this.
So I met my fiance 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been riding since he was younger, like 14.
Oh,
so
cool.
that's when I learned what BMX was. And I didn't start shooting for probably a year into our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been shooting BMX for 5 years-ish.
Right.
The first stuff doesn't really count.
Yeah. Some people, I guess, are trying to ramp as soon as they get the wheels off, too. That's like, does that count?
Well, my riding, I definitely struggled riding a bike my whole life. Was not my thing, ever.
But now you enjoy it. Now you get a kick out of it.
Now it's become something I can't live without, which is a crazy concept for me.
Yeah.
My mom doesn't get it. She's like, wait, you hate bikes. I do.
Mm-hmm. So, how old are you now?
I am 33.
And when did you start riding? 3 years ago?
Probably like 4 or 5 years ago, I tried to pedal.
Mm-hmm.
So I have and this kind of answers a different question, but I have a sensory processing disorder.
Oh.
So basically my limbs don't send signal back to my brain telling me where they are in space, essentially. So unless I'm touching something, then I know I'm touching the table, but my hand doesn't know it's here versus here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And then I have a mirroring muscle disorder too. So when my brain sends a signal to my hands, it goes to both of them. So they do the same things at the same time, whether I want to or not.
Damn.
So this is why I never rode bikes.
Oh, I gotcha.
Makes it a little difficult. My balance is pretty terrible. But I actually, this past year, I did a bunch of yoga, and it has changed my bike riding experience completely.
Awesome.
I'm way more comfortable than I ever was.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and that's why the pump track and the roller line at Catty, that's totally home based, and I'm totally fine with it always being home based.
Right,
but
yeah.
I'm still learning every time I get on my bike, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, catching rhythm and like getting familiar with yourself is crucial, and I think sometimes we overlook how much groundwork has to be laid before you can even do anything.
Totally, yeah.
I think about
when I figured out the whole pumping concept, it was like, what? It works.
Yeah.
Because people would tell you, you gotta pump, you gotta pump.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're fucking talking about. I'm sorry, can I cuss on here? Are you cool with that?
Absolutely. I have such a horrible trucker mouth that I'm sure.
Excellent. Me too. I'll feel much more comfortable if I can add an F-bomb here and there.
Yeah.
And having a guy explain it to a girl how to pump is completely different too. It's not our bodies are not the same. Right. So like the different women's jams and stuff, like you have to learn from a woman really, because our bodies are so much different, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I've thought about it even like in the sense of like quitting riding, like man, maybe I'm getting too old, maybe I need to stop doing this. And then I think again, I'm like, I've tried so hard to learn how to freaking bunny hop. I tried so hard to learn how to double peg grind. I don't really feel like giving it up. I know it's
you use so much of your time. Yeah, what's it for then if you just stop?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and there's people that stop for like years at a time and then come back. Joe Dougherty, who does the BMX in Our Blood podcast, he stopped for like 15, maybe even more.
At least a decade, right?
Yeah, before he came back, and then he rode for his dad before his dad died, and now he rides all the time again. But yeah, he took a really long break for a while, and a lot of people do that.
Yeah, and he's jumping some pretty big jumps. Like it's not like he just rides parking lots either.
Right? Yeah, no, he go small for sure.
That's awesome. Shout out to him for.
He does a candy bar, not a candy bar. It looks like a candy bar. He does an X-up can that looks like a candy bar because his leg goes over what looks like going over the bars.
Oh wow, cool.
It looks rad in a photo.
I gotta check.
It's like my favorite thing that he does.
Definitely. Speaking of photos, when did you pick up a camera?
So like my mom's an art major, so we had art anything we wanted when I was growing up. Like, if you want to learn how to paint, she's going to teach you how to paint. My mom threw pottery in my basement, so if you want to learn pottery, we're going to learn pottery. And if you want to shoot pictures, she's going to put a roll of film in a camera and send you out to take pictures. So I mean, like, I took photos when I was younger, and I always thought I loved taking photos, but I didn't really know what I was doing. So when I went to school for graphic design, which that's definitely, I'm married to design, I'm dating photography. Like, design work pays the bills for sure. And I'd love for photography too, but she's definitely the mistress at this point. There was a photography course in my college, and there was no way I could afford it on top of my current tuition. So I went and bought the camera for the class, and in true Tasha DIY fashion, taught myself how to use it. And I did like some portrait stuff, and I thought I knew what I was doing. And people show you a picture on Pinterest. Can you do this? Oh, sure, we can do that. I can make that happen. Get really good at Photoshop and
exactly.
figure out how to make it work.
Fix it in post.
Yep, absolutely. Well, and then I tried shooting with some lights, but I mean, I still doing all my work in post for sure. It wasn't actually until I shot with Milo here. He took me in studio and like set up all these fun, funky lights and like opened my eyes to using flash and photography.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was seriously probably life-changing. I think about light way differently now because of him.
Awesome. Yeah, man.
He's a super good guy.
We went riding with him one time, and he was setting up for this one shot, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, it took him so long to set up that I was like,
This better be a piece of art.
I couldn't even wrap my brain around it because I had never been around. Like, I've ridden around with people that took photos, but not someone bringing like an official set of gear that's like, no, doesn't matter the situation, he's gonna get some amazing stuff.
Oh yeah, totally. and he's motivated, like, and he has ideas. He's like, oh, I could take this idea and I could apply it to this, and he's always thinking up new ideas. I admire that in him.
Yeah.
Because I don't necessarily feel like I have always an idea of what I want it to look like. It's more of a feeling that I chase with my photos, but he does a lot of like visual experimenting that I haven't quite grasped yet. But
I do say that when I think of your work, your photography work, the natural lighting of a trails session is, you know, I don't know if it's uncommon, but
most of those are flash, by the way.
No, they are. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Cool. Most of them all include flash lighting.
Wow.
But that's the thing. I want it to look like it's naturally there. So that's cool. That's awesome.
Definitely.
I usually, and so like when I first moved here, I probably didn't use them at all. And then I got I think I just bought one. I bought one light for the Halloween Jam in 2019 or 2018. Cody Diggs one. Okay. And I had these flashes set up, and I was so determined to get this shot. It was like super stressful moment. But after that, I used a flash for almost everything in the woods.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, and they're actually really crazy dark with all the trees, especially during the middle of like summer.
Yeah.
You have like zero sun. Golden hour isn't golden hour in the trails. Golden hour is at like 4 when you kind of still have some light, but it's dark.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not easy. It's not easy to take trail shots and make it look as good as you do. So I just want to give you some props for that, because I mean that's the truth, and you've been posting about it and making it apparent. You know,
they're my love. The trails. That's definitely. That's where I belong, but I didn't necessarily know it until I was here, because I hadn't ever shot trails before I moved here.
Yeah,
I mean, kind of, but not really.
Did you see the new Relic video?
The new one?
Yeah.
The new one with Clint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the one weekend I wasn't here.
Oh, really? Damn.
Jess went and watched, actually. Oh, yeah. But I went home to see my dad. I hadn't seen my dad all year because of COVID, and then they came and filmed the one weekend.
Damn. I was just gonna say, like, I think his name's Joshny. I think that's how you say it. He's the dude who filmed the video. Oh,
okay. I've never met him, but yes.
I've never met him in person either, but he seems really nice. I'm a big fan of his video work, and I think he did a good job shooting the trails. And I feel like you two would be like some brand that's sleeping out there needs to pick up you two guys and run with it. Just saying.
That's fun.
But
I love it.
Anyway, you know.
Cool.
Yeah. So, you know. So you also do graphic design. So did you? Yeah. Is that what you initially went to college for?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the dream originally. Actually, you know, when I was in high school, I was going to be an equine therapist, but work with horses. I was raised on a ranch and worked with horses my whole life, so that was my original plan. But then I had a free hour, and my mom was my high school counselor, and she said, "You can't have a free hour. I won't let you." Wow. And so I had to take an online class. And I picked it was like Photoshop Elements, like not even real Photoshop. It was like Photoshop Elements, so Photoshop for beginners. And it was super easy to me, but it was this like new idea of how to create things and collage and shadows, making things look real on the computer. And I was totally stoked on it. And then I found a tech school that offered degrees in graphic design. And I went all the way across South Dakota. It's like a 6-hour drive to the other side of the state.
Ooh.
But basically as far away from my family as I could get, while keeping in-state tuition, and got a tech school degree in graphic design. And then I found out that no one in the world of South Dakota hires graphic designers unless you go to Augustana, which is a 4-year school for snobs. And that's just not my game. So I ended up working at a call center there. And
I know that life.
Oh yeah. I have like 6 years under my belt of call center work.
Oof, I made it 6 months.
I mean, they gave me money to go back to school, and I did get like a business management degree. So not that I use it, but I have a 4-year degree now, and so that's nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it counts.
Yeah.
I'm still paying off the rest of it, but
right.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
So then I did, like, I worked for a couple different companies with graphic stuff, but I always ended up doing we moved to Nebraska, and I worked for an insurance company, but I also did a lot of graphics work for Nowhere BMX. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're in Nebraska.
I didn't know that's where they're from. That's cool.
Yeah. He makes frames and apparel and a bunch of different stuff. But I did like the sticker sets for both of his frames that he has, and some different apparel designs. And my photography kind of all started there. Like, I learned how to photograph because of his compound. There's people riding every weekend and jams, so I learned how to shoot a jam because of him. And
so how did you two initially meet? You just replied to a job posting?
So Jess, my fiance,
okay,
the BMX world is super small in the Midwest, and so he had this like crew that he was on called Perfect High Five. Okay. And they made clothes and stuff, but they were huge friends with these guys in Nebraska. So we ended up driving down to meet these people, and he has like this huge compound at his house where you can ride all these ramps and do all these bike things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love BMX. BMX is amazing because like all these people just hanging out, riding bikes, having fun. There was nothing bad. It was all positivity, and I was kind of like blown away by the whole life in itself. And then we started going like every other weekend to the compound to ride bikes and shoot photos and hang out. And then we moved to Nebraska because we were going to the compound every other weekend. Wow. And then I started working with the company and doing so I worked at the insurance company, but then I did a bunch of stuff for Nowhere. Mm-hmm. And we lived there for 2.5 years, and then we moved to Pennsylvania.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
So just like kind of nomading it up right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you guys picked the perfect place to do it.
I mean, I'm stoked that we live out here, and actually we bought a house. So we rented in Hellertown when we first moved here, and then bought a house last year, October. So most of my time lately is consumed with rebuilding this house. But
congratulations for getting a hold of a spot.
Yeah, it was like right before everything, and we have 1/3 of an acre. So we dug a pump track last year.
No way.
In the backyard. Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Jess has a jump line and there's a pump line. So there'll be even actual jumps in our backyard.
Damn, I'm stoked to see it. We're looking at getting a place too, and we got a pretty big yard. We got a stupid awesome. Big front yard that I wish I could put a pump track in, but it's a front yard. Yeah. But
grass, the greatest conspiracy.
But I'm excited to have a yard because
a yard. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
Eventually you'll curse it because you have to mow the lawn.
Oh, I know. I know I'm gonna absolutely hate it, but just the privacy, like when the car driving past isn't like feeling like it's right at your front door.
Yeah.
Like that alone, I think I'm.
Are you in an apartment now, or do you have a rental?
An apartment, but it's a house.
Oh, okay.
And it's like enough of a house, like it even has a garage. So it's like it feels like enough. It's just that like when you exit your back door or your front door, you're inside somebody else's area already.
You live in Philly or no?
No, I live in Harrisburg right now.
Oh, okay. For some reason I thought you lived in Philly, but maybe Harrisburg is just as bad. I don't know.
I lived in Philly for 6 years.
Yeah.
And then I came to Harrisburg, then to Rochester, then back to Harrisburg.
So the town, for perspective, the town I grew up in has 3,000 people in it.
Okay.
That's it.
That's pretty small.
Yeah. So my high school is like 300 people. Like this yard is probably like normal at every house in South Dakota.
Oh, wow.
There isn't, when Jess and I came here and we were looking at houses, like the houses that are built row houses, that isn't a thing. Like, we're like, no, we don't want one of those. Yard. Yeah. Don't you have more like that? No, not really a lot of them.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, they put people up against each other pretty tight in the cities. Yeah. Like the people in New York City that have to do like the 7th floor walk-ups, like fuck.
And they pay how much for those? It's crazy. I stayed at an Airbnb in New York once with my sister for the weekend, and I don't think we paid much. It was like maybe $150 a night or something. It wasn't bad, but the day we were leaving, the guy got like an eviction notice under the door. And it was like $3,000 a rent per month, and it was an efficiency, like 1 bedroom. I was totally blown away. Is that normal?
It beats me if that's normal. That sounds like New York prices. That's insane.
I mean, maybe it makes sense for New York, but like,
wow.
I can't imagine $3,000 a month for an efficiency.
Wow.
When I was growing up and when I was in college, I paid $470 a month for my apartment.
That's really good. I mean, yeah.
It was. I mean, to be fair, it was probably built in the 50s, and I had a yellow stove, but it was fine.
A canary yellow.
It was like mustard yellow.
Oh, right on. Perfect.
Yeah, straight retro 70s. Yes.
Damn. So you kind of get into graphic design with the Nowhere stuff.
Yep, that's where it started.
And where does it go from there?
Well, and when I came out here, I was like I was totally low key. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to ride my bike and hang out. And then something happened one day. We were all at Catty. It was like a dig day. And someone said something to J-Bone about me being able to design flyers. And at the time, our flyers were kind of like one here, one there. So, you can throw together a flyer on PowerPoint.
Damn.
And then the rest is kind of history. Now I have like a schedule I make, and last year I made all the flyers the same, and they matched. And I was so happy about it.
Yo, I definitely noticed when Posh started, like, when I started seeing more cool stuff coming out, and I'm like, well, damn. And that's before I even knew who you were. That's crazy.
Sure. Wow. I did 3 shirts for them too. Now I've got to do a couple shirts, which has been really cool. J-Bone will tell me this idea in the winter about, it's like, what if we did something with this? And then I'll get to work on it like all winter, and then get to show him. And he didn't give me one this year, but it's been such a weird year. But
yeah.
Last year I did the spade tree with the shovel. I don't know if you saw it, but
I'm not sure if I saw that one. I feel like I probably have it. It's just escaping me right now.
It was the best COVID project. I needed it for sure. Kept me going.
So, when did you get in cahoots with Percy?
So actually, the first weekend I was here in Pennsylvania, staying in my friend's basement, was the women's weekend, the very first women's weekend for Catty and Posh. So I went, and I took pictures of trails that I'd never really taken pictures of before, and posted some, and Percy messaged me on Insta and was like, hey, we want to put your photos in our magazine. And I was like, I like Pennsylvania. This is nice. Oh, yeah. I didn't even have to try. Shit. No, it was really cool. I was stoked on it from the very first time.
Cool. Yeah, it seems like coverage is few and far between, and people are always moving in and out of the state. So it's like, when you find somebody who's at the right places at the right times, that's doing good work, it's awesome.
It's an exciting project to be a part of too. It's been neat to see it evolve and change.
Yeah, it's definitely grown a lot, and I feel like we've slowly pieced together this thing as it's been rolling down the hill, and I feel like embarrassed by issue 1 now. I feel like I could do so much better.
It's normal though, as a designer, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
you're your own worst critic. Like, I have been working tirelessly on this zine that I said I would do.
Yeah.
In May of last year, I told Cody Diggs, you know what, you're right. I'm going to put it all in a zine. I'm not going to post anything for 2020. I'm going to make a zine. And I'm still fucking working on it. I stare at it for hours. I'm like, oh, I could move this picture here. Maybe it would actually look better if I put it here. Is that really the right font? And it's like endless. Now I think I have everything in the right places. I have to write all of the shit that goes in. Now, that part I've been kind of dreading because, like, the photos are done. I know they look good. Oh, but now I have to figure out how to write all the stuff that I know I want to say.
Have you been posting like teaser pics of the spreads?
No, not really at all.
Okay, so did you do photo work for some other magazine?
I
remember.
So
yeah,
I was in a Broken and Coastal issue last year.
Okay, that's probably what it was.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I did like a women's spread for them. They did like something on Women's Weekend, and I wrote a poem, and there's a bunch of pictures of the girls at Catty and Posh.
Cool.
It turned out really good. He's an awesome designer. I don't know if you've looked at his stuff before.
I remember seeing something with your photos and I was like, wow, it's
really good stuff.
Yeah.
And like, that was the thing. I don't know, when you give someone your photos and say, here, put this in your magazine, it's like, I don't know, photography is art to me. And so it's like giving someone a baby and saying, here, take care of it. And you want so badly, especially as a designer, to make sure that they put them in the right places with the right amount of love. And he just killed it. I was almost teary when I got the issue back in the mail. And like, no one had posted my spread yet, and I wasn't looking at anyone's posts. And but it showed up in the mail. There's something about a print piece that's just magic.
Yeah. And then there's also something a little evil about print pieces as well.
You know, sometimes print is permanent.
It can be sinister too, just like in the Disney movies.
That it can get you.
Yeah, and that happened to me with issue 3. You did a really great job editing those layouts for us. You shot the photos, you did the layouts. You got them to us in a timely fashion. Exactly.
I was ready.
You gave them to us exactly how we asked for them, and then updated it every time I had to ask you for it again. And there was no reason for this ball to be dropped, and I dropped the ball hard on this one.
I mean, it really could happen to anyone. You're dealing with, it's not like it's different because it's not like it's all your stuff and this should be there and this should be there and that should be there. Like, you saw the spreads, you knew that there were in there, you just didn't know. Yeah,
but here's the fucked up part is that I tried to just place your file in the Ride PA file and everything should have been hunky-dory.
Yeah, it totally just would dump in.
Why wouldn't it, right?
Right.
But when I would send it to the printer, they're like, no, this can't. These photos are linked weird. I'm like, no, they're not. Everything is right there. But all right. So I ended up having to recreate your layouts pixel for pixel back in the regular file.
Oh, and they're not like pretty either. I had like that transparent file of the dirt underneath. I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't that bad actually. There
weren't that many layers. It could have been worse.
Yeah, it could have been much worse. It was pretty clear cut. And I think that's probably where the record skipped is when after I had finished recreating them all, and then I went to go pop them back in. You
just missed a page.
Needless to say, I fucked up. Yeah,
it's not the end of the world. But the only thing I was super bummed about is that J-Bone's picture was on the page that wasn't printed, and I was like, it's a Posh spread. Oh,
it's so gut wrenching because it was like that of all the photos and all the spreads. It's like
that's the one.
It's all the legends in the fucking thing. Like, come on.
It's okay.
So I apologize to BMX.
I did show J-Bone the spread before it printed actually, and I said, "This is what it's gonna look like." here. He was so stoked because Jazzy and so he was excited. Was a little bit bummed that Jazzy didn't get to be in the spread, but it's okay.
Yo, what if you did something, or we, as in like Ride PA, even did something where it was like a mini zine of just those pages?
You don't have to.
That'd be kind of cool. Something.
I'm gonna put a picture of them in my new one too, so it's okay.
Cool.
I'm really excited about it, but I just gotta finish it.
How many pages are you looking at?
So it's 54 pages.
Mm-hmm.
But lots of big pictures. Like, I kind of just wanted, so often I have to like shove all my stuff into like 4 pages or 2 pages.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to give all of it breathing room to just kind of be in its own space.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I did some art to go with it. So there's like some trail artsy stuff that I'm kind of nervous about and excited about. So yeah, I'm apprehensive. I'm super nervous, but it's exciting at the same time.
Is it like almost like a portfolio piece in the sense of like, is it all your work? Is there any contributors? It's just you?
Nope, it's just all mine.
Cool. Okay.
And I don't like that sounds kind of selfish, and I thought about asking people, but at the same time, like I had like an idea of how I wanted it to look.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of want to put it out into the world, like.
Right.
I don't.
You want your idea to be your own.
Out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then I can do something different with the next one, but this one just came together, and I had so many different plans. I wanted to go so many places, and I had like Clint's. I wanted to go to Clint's and shoot, and I wanted to go to Swamp Fest and shoot, and I had so many ideas originally, and I went to Situate and at Cody's house, and then I went to Kiko at the end of the year last year. And then other than that, like it was just catty and posh, which is a responsible thing to do. It was right, but it was hard because I think like that's kind of part of BMX is the traveling and going all the different places, and none of our friends live in the same place as us. Like,
right.
That made it more difficult, I think.
Definitely. And to relate the magazine thing to like video work, it's almost like before you were just like you had a clip and you were giving it to somebody else to edit. And this time
that sounds awful.
Like to put in their video.
That's that's scary. Like
yeah, and it's like please don't meme me, but or
be kind. Yeah.
Versus creating a whole video project of your own and releasing it exactly how you want it to go second for second. And
totally. Jess has that too, like because he does the edits, some edits and stuff for catty events and posh events.
Yeah.
And he has like specific songs that he plans for different events, and like this one doesn't feel right. This one, and like I think he's doing one with Ekam's band in it.
Cool.
For this recent edit, and Ekam is just stoked, and like I think it's so cool to be able to use other people's art together and like meld the two, the BMX and the just art in general.
Yeah, definitely.
I think of BMX as a pretty artistic expression.
Yeah.
Which not everyone necessarily gets it, but I feel like that's the part with the photography that I try and capture is like.
Yeah.
You're doing, like, for instance, Ekam.
Mm-hmm.
He's the digger at Catty Eye. Do you know who that is?
Ekam King?
Yes.
I only know his name from watching man-made videos, so I never actually met him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's funny. So he's Dave's younger brother.
Oh shit, they're related.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Oh yeah. And so he's like one of the main diggers at Catty. He's there all the time. But he's digging this line right now called Cookie Puss. And he saw it in his dream. He knows what it's going to look like. He knows what trick he's going to do over a jump. And I love that. Like, that's the part I want to get. Like, I want to capture the way you saw it in your head.
Right.
The artistic expression, the way you want it. Because a rider can look at a photo and be like, no, I want it this way. So there's like almost two sides to it.
Mm-hmm. Yo, can you see that one?
Who is that?
That's Wiz.
Oh, hey.
It's one barrier's knocked down.
Okay.
And there's like a little bit of like skater quickcrete at the bottom.
So okay, so DIY.
Yeah. But Rob Dalecki shot this, but
hell yeah.
It absolutely flabbergasted me about how high this dude is above the
over the barrier. Yeah.
And I'm just like, that looks like fucking fake. It doesn't even look real to me.
I hate that when you take a photo and it looks fake.
Oh man, but at the same time, it's like.
But that's epically real at the same time. The lighting is so good.
Like Wiz is the god of the barriers, like.
So before I moved to Pennsylvania, I bought every one of Dalecki's books.
Oh yeah,
all of them. Like I had all the maintains. I was totally nerding out about his like style and the way he took photos, and then now he comes to like all the Catty and Posh jams.
Oh yeah.
He knows me by name. We talk like normal, and
sick.
He's just a really rad dude. But I have respected his art from the get-go. He is a killer artist for sure.
Yeah. And pretty damn good on the bike too.
Yes, so underrated.
Yeah.
He's so fun to watch at the trails.
We need to start a GoFundMe where like BMX like contributes to getting a videographer to just put a part out of the like.
I love that.
That's what I would love to see.
It's a lot more lately too.
Oh yeah.
Like he'll come to the trails and just ride, and not take out his camera till the end. So it's kind of nice to see it. He rides Chicken like nobody's business.
Mm.
And Chicken is a big badass boss line at Catty. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah, I don't. I've heard it referenced, but I don't know how gnarly it is.
Nilo posted a photo from the last Halloween jam of Clint on it. I don't know if you remember seeing it, but he used like a wide angle, and it's like the whole screen, and you can see like Clint's at like the very top of the picture. it's pretty crazy image, and it's hard to shoot that jump because it's just gnarly as hell.
Right. Yeah.
There's one point in the Chicken run where it jumps over. So it might be hard to explain, and I'm probably gonna make a fool out of myself. But like the roller line and back six come this way, and there's like hip, and Chicken comes from across the woods and jumps over this jump where the hip is into another line. Like it's like jumping over 3 jumps at the same time. It's crazy. It's wild to see in person, and even from across the woods, you can see just boing, boing, people just popping up when they're running Chicken.
Yeah.
It's gnarly.
Is there any like tricks or maybe ways to go about shooting photography in the trails that maybe somebody doesn't know that you could drop some knowledge on?
Drop some knowledge.
Like
I mean,
because the ground's uneven everywhere in a sense when you're and you got the bowl out. If you want to show how tall the jump is, shoot it from different angles. You can't even tell.
I started with wide angle, and I just stopped because it looked so distorted that I just didn't feel it was capturing the right feeling anymore. But I shoot a lot from the front and show a lot of the height of the landing.
That's right. Yeah.
Usually. Now it's recently that's my trend, it seems.
Right. Yeah.
It'll probably change, but I feel like with trails, at least for me, I like to show the jumps. I mean, I think that the riders usually spend so much time digging those jumps that they are just as important in the photo as the rider is.
Yeah.
When I learned how to shoot BMX, someone said, you have to see where the rider came from and where they're going.
Yes.
And how to time the perfect, trick and when's the right moment, et cetera, et cetera. And from not knowing BMX at all, it was a lot of work to teach myself, like, how to do it. Because I don't sequence shot anything hardly at all anymore. But, I mean, I did everything with when I first started.
Oh, right.
And then I would I would open all my photos and I would say, okay, Jess, which is the right moment for this? Which is the right moment for this?
Spray and pray.
Oh, it was a lot of work to like figure it out. And now I don't at all. But I mean, with the woods, I feel like I don't know if I usually line up the shot in like what I feel like looks pretty or the right shows the right angle before I even shoot the rider. So usually I line up a shot with my flashes and everything, and then I wait for the rider. As long as I know, usually I watch to see where they're riding first, because the thing about trails is you can get stuck at the bottom of a line that no one's riding. And you don't know that they're not coming back. And you just sit there because you can't hear anything because you're at the bottom of the woods. And you can't text anyone or...
Coming down?
Yeah. So sometimes that happens.
Right.
Not usually at a jam. Jams are usually crazy busy and you can set up just about anywhere and get good shots.
Have you ever tried shooting street at all?
So my first time I ever shot
or park
BMX photos with intention, I actually shot with Sean Burns.
Oh, cool.
And I had no idea what I was doing. So he visited Carl in Nowhere for an event, and he's like, "Oh, let's go." Or Carl was, "Let's go shoot street." And I just shot the ramps at Carl's house. I had never done anything outside of that, and so we're gonna go on this street mission, and I was the only one that was shooting pictures for Carl at the time. So I'm coming with, sure, let's go. And I mean, I have a picture of him doing a wall ride and a couple of other things. I didn't shoot with lights then, so I would love to try street with lights now because I didn't know how to do it then. But I feel like it could be. It's going to take me some time to figure out like how to light it. I'm sure because I'm so used to lighting dirt.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. Do you follow Vincent Perard? I don't know how to say his name.
Yes, I do.
He's got some fantastic stuff.
Amazing, yeah. Vince, phenomenal. I've never talked to him. I get shy talking to some of those people. Those guys are so good.
Oh man, it's weird to see somebody you've watched in bike videos too, like that you keep up on, but like they don't know that you know them, and it's just
yeah.
It's just weird.
Social media makes it weird. Like, you could be like, know who someone is. Like, Chris Hallman walked up to me at Catty and was like, "You're TJL Photo." And I was like, "You're Chris Hallman. Hello." Wow. And it's just like a super socially awkward moment because you know each other, but you don't know each other.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I was fortunate enough to go to one of those FBM ghetto comps.
Yes, I've gone to a couple of those.
Did you go to the one with the loop?
I don't think so. No. Oh. When was the loop?
That was the last one that they did before they started.
Oh, no, I didn't go to that.
That was my first like BMX road trip like ever.
Oh.
And
you're missing out on the best thing ever.
Yeah. I was pretty young, and I think it was like the first trip we ever did where we like even got a hotel like that. But I remember seeing like Wiz, Vicky Alla, and Jim Selinsky, and just everybody, and like you just like lock eyes with them for a second. And you're like, like fuck.
I didn't look at you.
Yeah, it was just insane. You're like, God,
yes,
man.
My first one, I met a whole bunch of people too, and I was like, what am I even doing here? Matt Hoffman was at the first one I went to. Cody Diggs. Wow. I didn't know who he was at the time. Now we're friends, and it's normal, and it's just fun. That's the other thing. Like, all of these people, I think BMXers, even though we, like, look at them like they're gods in the BMX world, they're really just like us. Like, they're all super down to earth. I haven't had, like, any weird experiences with any of them. They're all, like, Randall comes to Catty at least once a year for like a Saturday morning sesh and drinks coffee with us, and it's just nice to just see them like just be one of us, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's cool.
So I guess we never touched base on
didn't
what
really
we're gonna.
follow your guidelines, did we? I just talked
No, it's fine. I took us off topic. It was my fault.
I'm just a talker. And I was nervous, so I can just blabber on.
No, this is great. I'm sure plenty of people need to hear this, and I think that there is plenty of space in the BMX world for other podcasts to exist. So, I think chatting about this kind of stuff, people want to hear it, and if people have alternate opinions, please start your own. Like that's all I can say about it.
That's too funny.
But so I wanted to touch base on working with me and Percy. That after I had fumbled the ball, we kind of like came to a conclusion like, yeah, why weren't we letting you see the final shit before it goes to print?
I didn't really think about it. It was fine.
For me, it was like an epiphany. I was like, yeah,
we
should have been doing this. Like, but we were just like, we looked at it so many times, we just got stuck and fucked up.
Totally.
But
well, I mean, that's like my regular job now is like I do.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Home decor stuff for like department stores. So like Target, Bed Bath, Walmart. Like I do product design for products that they'll buy and put in their store.
Wait, like actually designing the products, or you design like what?
So like I mean, it's not really. It's cool, but it's not like BMX cool. So like, it's like live, laugh, love to put on your wall, like things like that.
So you're creating the graphics that would go in the picture frame or something?
So I make those. Those are we call them face papers.
Okay.
I make those, and then I also make, for a department store in Ohio called Meyer, I do a lot of actual decor graphics. So like, I can't hear you. 1 second.
No way.
So like this is an idea. I didn't make this, but like same concept. Like things like this. Love has 4 legs or 4 paws, or like different like kitschy women stuff. Which I mean, not all of it's great and super awesome, but I'm learning more about they pay for training, and I have design programs on my computer, and I get to do like some hand done illustration stuff. Actually, this past week I did like 2 or 3 projects that I got to hand draw. So
wow,
I'm getting to develop my skills, which is nice.
That's awesome. Now, do they have a product already that they want you to create a graphic for, or do you have to pitch graphics for them to make into products?
No, I don't really. So we have product designers, and we have the graphic designers, and then we have like a packaging team. So it's a pretty big company. Kind of just found it on the random. I didn't even really know what I was looking for. Just knew I wanted a graphics job.
Are you working remotely?
Currently, yeah.
Cool.
Currently, I'm remote. Yeah, it's nice right now. I'll eventually go back. I'm pretty sure full time. But who knows when that is happening?
Right. Yeah.
I like being able to be here and be with my dog and garden on my breaks and
pump track if you wanted to.
Yes, absolutely.
In the middle of the day.
I can do all of that.
Yeah.
Almost could make it to Catty on lunch, but I have to turn around and drive back after the first shovel. So.
Shucks.
No dig, no ride. That's for reals.
So what's going on with the house? You guys got it in October and you're still working on projects. Do you think you're going to be doing projects for another year? Oh
my God. So, I mean, this house was built in 1950. And the people who lived in it the person who built it lived in it. So he built his own home and then lived in it for 70 years.
Wow.
So it has a lot of uniqueness to it. I feel like they updated things that were trendy. Like, there's paneling in every room, and there was carpet over all the hardwood and the whole floor. So, I mean, like, that was an easy thing to fix, obviously. We just ripped out the carpet. But the kitchen had, like, a built-in oven and stovetop.
Okay.
And they're, like, $3,000 to replace. So, instead of replacing them, I thought we should just redo the whole kitchen.
Oh, here we go again.
So, yep, now we're living with no kitchen for the 4th week, 5th week.
Damn.
But Jess redid the plumbing, and so we have a sink and a dishwasher that works right now.
That's incredible.
He is pretty amazing. He did the electrical last week. The plumbing he had figured out, and we moved the sink. I didn't even do any. I mean, like,
hell yeah, that's
what's up. It in the same place. We moved the sink to a different spot. There are lots of BMXers that are electricians. So, actually, we had a good friend who's a BMXer who helped us with rewiring some things, nice. Which was super helpful.
Oh yeah.
Moved the stove. The bathroom is something else, but I have a pink tub and blue tile walls.
Nice. Is that just how it came?
Yep.
I wonder where these design colors really came from. If it was like really an adamant decision, or if it was just like, yeah, this is what the paper says, we'll do it.
No, I mean, he built it himself. This was definitely a DIY house.
Oh, so
he chose all of those things. I mean, his name was Luther and his wife's name was Betty Lou. So, I mean, there's love in that relationship. You just know it.
Yeah. Now, were the walls done with drywall, or were they done with slat?
They are drywall, but every wall is to code. So there is cement board and sheetrock on every wall. So it's like an inch thick of cement board and sheetrock.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt.
So I guess it's really insulated then and really soundproof.
I mean, yeah, kind of. I guess. I don't know. It's
kind of hard to tell.
He was a retired firefighter, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Jess's dad loves that. His dad is also a retired firefighter, so he was all about it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Fireproof. And the fire station's right down the road, of course.
Yeah, you got nothing to worry about then.
Right, perfect.
Cool. So
yeah, no, the house is good.
What's on the horizons for you? When do you think you're gonna put the magazine out?
Oh, well, I think I should probably finish writing this stuff by the end of the month.
Okay, cool.
So my plan is to actually use part of the stimulus check that's coming to get it printed. So
nice.
Yeah. That's what I actually told Jess tonight. I said, that's what that money is going for. And it won't be that much. I'm going to try. I really want to do the, like, square binding.
Oh, perfect binding?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit more, but I really want to do it. I'm going to see how I feel about it.
Yeah. You're gonna like it. Maybe we should talk Percy into it, too.
You should. See? Maybe I'll sell him on the idea.
Well, the way we priced it for the Ride PAs is that 64 pages is the most that they'll do before they insist on you going to perfect bind.
Oh, sure.
So it's, I guess you could say it's the budget.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Budget.
So really, if you would have had my spread in the magazine, you would have had to perfect bind it. So I'll just make an extra spread when Percy's at his 64 pages, and then I'll have to make 4 pages for you to up it.
Yep.
Perfect. It's a good plan.
You heard it here first, Mike.
Got work to do.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what it was. The vibe at Catty and Posh. That was the thing I kind of wanted to touch on.
Yeah. And
I was talking to Jess about it before the podcast because I was really struggling with the answer of, like, how do you even explain it? Because it's really different for everyone. Because the first time I went there, there was not a jam, and it was, like, super quiet and amazing. I didn't know what trails were, so it was like
first experience.
Inspiring.
Yo.
There's these huge jumps in the middle of nowhere. Like, I was totally blown away, and I don't think anyone even rode that day. It was, yeah, because the first time I visited Pennsylvania was 2016, and it was Thanksgiving, and trail season was over. No one was riding, and I just was like completely blown away. And I didn't even get to see anyone ride, and we still moved here. Actually, I did want to mention this because you asked about us moving here and who I worked with and graphic stuff. So Joe Dougherty, I did a bunch of graphic stuff for him. I did, so his graphic designer during the Scotty Kramer event got super, super busy and couldn't help because it's all like, you know, for a good cause. Mm-hmm. So you're not doing any of it for money. But he asked me to help. So I ended up doing the Scotty Kramer jam, and then the rest is history. Actually, I should rewind a little bit. Actually, this is interesting. So I met Joe because he's from Connecticut and I was in Nebraska, and how the heck does that make sense? A Flatlander that I met in Chicago added me to a workout group run by Kevin Robinson.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, whatever. I lost 100 pounds when I left my ex-husband. So it was like, I work out every morning at 5 a.m. It's my thing for 7 years, and it's what I do.
Cool.
And so this Flatlander, I posted like a progress thing from like beginning to end, and he's like, oh, you would love this group. And so he adds me to this group. I don't know who K-Rob is at the time. I know what BMX did, but I don't know who K-Rob is. Uh-huh. And K-Rob does these talks every Monday, Motivation Monday, and it's like a live video chat with 20 people in it, and K-Rob. And he's telling us how to get through the day, and it's amazing. And
wow.
He's like the best counselor I never knew I needed, and super motivated. So one of the people in this group was Joe Dougherty, who also overcame some personal struggles and like started telling us, he did like a live introduce members of the group kind of thing, and Joe did a live and told us about himself and his life, and we all got pretty close in this group and talked occasionally, and that's how I ended up getting the graphics. Joe, you need help with your jam? I do graphic stuff if you ever. And so he asked me to help with this one. And then I did the next one, and then I did the next one, and now I'm here, and I'm going to do the next one.
Wow.
But Joe, it's probably part of the reason I moved here too, because he was extremely motivating in my life in general, and he's like kept me going, and it's just he's a good human.
Yeah, shout out to him. I think you know, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be doing this right now. You know,
probably.
You know, he's inspiring as fuck. That's for sure.
Well, in that podcast, that live he did on our group was the first time he ever did this like public speaking thing, and that podcast came because of that.
No way.
So like all full circle, like you can thank K-Rob for that.
Damn.
I am so thankful to have gotten even a part of his life in my life. Like, he was an incredible human, for sure. And like after he passed away, and like all the people that were touched by him, the Find Your Fight Jam was incredible. It was super emotional for me because I didn't realize how close I had gotten in this little web group to Kevin Robinson, because I never got to meet him in person.
Oh wow, yeah.
And it was really pretty incredible to see all the people that he affected. Yeah,
it was probably like really heartwarming to see everybody get together like for his cause, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, his parents came, and his dad talked, and wow. It was so cool. It was really cool. Good people for sure. Well, and Joe just interviewed K-Rob Jr. yesterday.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Or the day before. Yeah, super cool.
Gonna have to give that a listen.
Yeah, I know. I gotta listen to it too.
Cool.
He's a good kid.
I mean, I have a quick story I could tell you. I mean, it's not even anything that crazy, but I got to ride with Brian Histand a couple times before, you know.
So I I read a little bit when he passed away, but like I didn't really know him or hear anything about it.
So I might cut this out. I might just tell you this.
Yeah, you're fine.
But do you remember BMX board? Did you ever hear of that?
Nope.
So BMX board, the first rule of BMX board is you don't talk about BMX board. And it was like the first shit talking platform before anything else came out.
This was like a forum.
Yeah, just a straight up normal ass forum site.
Okay.
And it was invite only. Like you had to like email this dude, tell him how long you've been riding, and hopefully you pass the quiz test to get a username.
Dang.
And then like people go on that didn't even have accounts just to read what so and so said, and there'd be all these different names, and people became like legends in a sense that were on the site. And one of these people was this guy named Fit Brian, and he would.
And it wasn't Brian Foster.
No, there was somebody else named Blue Falcon. You know, like that was probably Foster for all we know.
Right.
You know, like, and he would always post like links to his YouTubes, or like people used to post like picture trail links or something, like if you wanted to post a photo.
Okay.
And I would click on it, and it was always like really dope riding. It was him and Crone like doing crazy shit. And I forget how, but one day in Philly, I'm just riding with him. Like I think we like messaged each other on the site. It was like, oh, so you're in the Philly area? Yeah. I'm gonna come down to FDR. Let's go ride. And like.
And then it just happens.
Yeah, and
That's the cool thing about social media. It just like hooks you up with a BMXer, just randomly.
Yeah. He just got crazier and crazier like at his bike riding, and I was with him the day we were at the Temple Banks. So there's like this he rides off the bleachers and tries to gap over the stairs, and it just like he like bails at the last second, I think, and the bike just completely flat bounces up like 20 feet in the air.
Is it?
You don't remember? Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
I think it was for a bone death.
Okay.
Thing, or maybe I just remember. No.
Hello?
It was like right about the time where he was like about to get sponsored, and no one knew who he was going to get sponsored for. Like he was making a sponsor me tape almost.
Oh, okay.
Or it could have been like his first video for his sponsor, because he was sponsored by Tempered, but I don't know if this happened before then. But
sure.
I know we're in the weeds now. But I was with him when he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna jump off that down to there," and I'm like, "No, you fucking not!" Like. No, you're not. No. He's
right.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Not to tape. I'm gonna do it. And I remember later on, like years and years down the road, seeing the clip, and I was like,
"Oh, sick!
He tried it."
That's a cool experience to like see it later.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I don't know, random story, but.
No, that's sick. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt when Sean Burns did this gap that he did. So in the Too Fast for Food, have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
The opening clip of that where he jumps over the camera. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Yeah. That's filmed in Nebraska. Jess actually filmed that clip.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I have a picture of it, but he got stuck and he doesn't land it. So like he didn't. I think he posted a picture once, and I like felt internet famous for a day. But it was like 2016, and I had no idea what I was doing. But 2015, something like that. I think if you go back in my Instagram, you can see it. It's kind of a cool photo. It's like you can see that like my style is still reminiscent of where I started.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It was a cool first experience.
Definitely.
But I mean, I don't shoot street now. I could maybe.
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah. Anybody could. You and somebody that has some skill involved with it, it's only gonna make it look better.
I think like I use nature so much in my photos. Like I would really struggle with like the inorganic aspect.
Just find the trashy cup of noodles in the gutter and get that in front of the lens.
Angle, yeah, there. concrete. If you can get a corner of concrete, bokeh in the foreground.
You bring a potted plant with you on street missions just to put in the foreground.
Absolutely, I know.
That's a great idea.
That's too funny. I love it.
Cool.
Perfect.
Thanks for doing this.
I gotta get my zine finished. Yeah, just done. So fucking done.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about these photos, though. Like, I've looked at them so much that it feels like other people have seen them, because I have seriously stared at them for, it hasn't even been a year yet, but it feels like it's been a year. Like, I'm just done looking at them. I just need to write the shit, get it out the door.
You should maybe get some direct-to-print of some of your photos on the shirts.
I was thinking about doing some, actually, like, at least prints available for people to buy from the zine. Like,
that'd be really cool.
Like a pre-order kind of thing. Well, Action Wheels was talking about doing, like, an open house for me when I release it, like a release party. So I hope we can still do that. With COVID cool. And everything, it's kind of been a mess, but I should message him and see. But yeah, Challenger cool. said that he would sell it on his web store for me too. He said I helped put a link for me, so that's kind of cool. I'm only gonna get 100 because I'm super worried they won't even sell. So. Oh
yeah, yeah. You'll sell, I'm sure.
100 is a lot of money, so I mean, like, I'm just gonna start small.
Yeah, definitely start small. Yeah, you don't want to be stuck.
And if I make the money from the first 100, then we can do another one. So.
But on the bright side is, you're shooting timeless photos, so that helps.
It does. It does help. I think the whole idea, like, it is also nicer that I'm doing a zine for just my stuff. Mm-hmm. Because, like, it's just my stuff. But, like, how many contributors and people's crap are you working with? I feel like that's way more, like, nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah, it is a little bit. Yeah.
Someone else's stuff into it.
Yeah, all the photographers, I'm like, I hope that they're okay that I did this, And seeing...
I just play with writers sometimes. Like, I hope they're okay with them next to this person, or they're on the same page as that, but like,
When I saw your work, I was like, oh, okay. You can really do stuff here. And I was like... I need to stop being so basic and start trying. That's you lit a fire under my ass. That's for sure.
That's good. That's good. I love print work. Like, that's my favorite. So I would rather work in print than digital any day.
Yeah.
Like, as far as, like, web, no, not my thing. Yeah. Someone asked me if I could do web or even, like, videography stuff. Like, I'm not any good at anything that's moving. My stuff should be static, stuck to a page, a box, something.
Right.
To not be moving.
Works for me.
I did like Flash when I was in college, and we had to do like, I think I made like a whole commercial that was like a Jeep that rolled across the page and like left a tire tread that had the logo of the company in it, and like it was a lot of work. But
I learned a little bit of Flash in college too, and what you said sounded insane. Like, I don't even know.
I mean, it was vector. Like, I made it in Illustrator, and then I just made it move in Flash because I didn't know how else to do it.
Yeah, motion is definitely crazy shit.
Yeah, no. There was this, just graphics talk, but there was this job opening for Clear Channel Airports. They're like, they do all the moving billboards in airports and stuff like that. So I applied for this job, and the guy was like, oh, we use this program, and it's a Creative Cloud program. I can't remember what it's called now. But I basically taught myself in a weekend how to make this shape come around when this guy swung this golf club, and I didn't get the job. But I ended up spending like 17 hours like crashing on this program to figure out how to make it work. And then the guy offered me he offered it to me like as an internship.
Oh.
Did not pay me, and I was like, fuck you, I learned this in a weekend, it's fine, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't need you.
Yeah, okay. They're lost.
But I mean, it felt good to be able to, I can still teach myself how to do a program in a weekend.
I feel like if you could teach yourself one thing, you can teach yourself a lot of things.
I mean, after college, you get so dang stagnant, you're not learning, and there's so many more things that, like, even Photoshop, I use Photoshop every day, but I don't know all the things it does anymore because I'm not going to school for it.
Right.
I feel like even just the Adobe programs have changed so much. I mean, when you continue to use them, obviously those same buttons are there and you can click the same things, but I'm sure there's so many more things that they can do that.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I learned that there's a wind filter in Photoshop this past 2 weeks.
A wind filter?
Yeah. So in as a way to create like a fake wood burn in wood, there's like this one button you click wind, and you can click left or right, but you can't click top or bottom wind. The most random, weird little menu within a menu.
Oh, yeah. Those weird things.
Yeah, but...
I didn't know how to use the pen tool in Photoshop till recently. Now my work, everything is clipping path with the pen tool, and everything has a stupid fucking fern on it. Oh my god. I have to clip out all these flipping plants and ledges that go on packaging. I mean, it's nice because like you can just put some music on and just like clip it, but I spent 4 hours clipping out a plant one day. It was just too long.
Damn.
Yeah. But I mean, they do pay me, so.
Yeah. Cheers
Pluses
to that.
and minuses.
That works.
So are you planning on going full time? Yeah, after this.
I'm gonna try.
After you leave, yeah, you're gonna try it.
Well, I'm trying to basically get as many balls in my court as I can.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just gonna be like open to freelancing, and I'm gonna apply to everything I can come across. But
have you used I think it was Upwork? Have you used that site before?
I tried, and I like applied to a job, and the dude turned me down. He said my designs were too slick. So
slick. Way to go. Way to be too slick.
But
I got like 2 jobs on it, and like I think I made like $300. It wasn't the worst thing, but then like after that I couldn't get another job. Like I was busting my ass to like write all these proposals for all these people, and then no one responded.
Yeah. And
so I don't know.
That's the thing. It's like it's not quite guaranteed money, and it's like if I just showed my face off for 8 hours, I know I can move these once I get a hold of somebody, and it's like that's not going to pay me the same kind of wage as doing design work, but it's like all right.
So are you planning on doing like the marketing thing then? Are you gonna like send promo packs out to bike shops across the nation?
I can't wait. I'm so stoked to do shit like that. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because like I've gotten like 5 bike shops now that carry my stuff, and it's like it's so rewarding to even have them, and it's
and to see it somewhere, to like go out randomly and see it on someone's bike who you don't know, that's got to be like the ultimate yes.
It is. It absolutely is. Or like when somebody gets it, or a lot of people order custom sizes, and it's like you're kind of like shooting an arrow from a football field away, hoping it kind of works. But like,
so for like old school frames with like the gusset, or like
nothing like that. Just like different size diameter tubing.
Oh, sure, that makes sense.
That frame was the frame I learned how to sew top tube pads on, and that frame has a smaller size
top tube
than every other frame on the market.
Every other bike.
And I didn't realize that until I got a new frame.
So all of the ones you had made were wrong?
No, I thought they were. I agree. I was on the same boat. I ended up emailing everybody that bought one from before.
Oh gosh, you honest man.
And I was like, does it fit? Because like, that's what I want the brand message to be, is like, this is the best fitting, best looking, best made, top of the line shit.
Quality.
I mean, what else can you?
Yeah.
You know, other than the fact that the Stem Buddy's the best thing since sliced bread, I will say that.
You are proud of it.
Yeah.
I love it.
But
that's good.
I mean, catch a kneecap and then wish you had a Stem Buddy, and then you're like, all right.
That's super fun.
Cool. Well, thanks for shooting the shit.
Yes. Have a wonderful evening.
You too. Alright, Tasha's magazine is now available for pre-order. You can get it at tjlphoto.bigcartel.com. Thanks again.
Pistol shots, hold her down with soggy clothes and breeze blows. She's morphine, queen of my vaccine, my love, my love, love, love. La la la, muscle and muscle and toe to toe. The fear is gripping me, but here I go. My heart sings as I jump out. Your anger tied as my shot out. She may contain the urge to run away, but hold her down with soggy clothes and breeze blocks. Germaline, disinfect the scene, my love, my love.